Wednesday, September 25th, quick one video if you want for ladies and gentlemen. VIX is down into some key areas that I would be using to put on hedges. I was looking for premium sales today and they were slim pickings. I'm thinking that we could be a little bit more down to 1480, but I do like buying it in the 15s and 14s, putting on some put protection for end of year rally and just liquidation break potential. Why have it all on here with the market pressing to highs? As far as the ES and the NQ go, we are making some new highs in the after hours. A lot of that I think has to do with Micron having good numbers after hours. That will fuel the semis and the AI trade likely. I think there's room for a pullback in the ES to 57.97.5 to 5800, but generally we know if 5800 can't hold, there is risk to 5700 with 57.85 and wherever the 200 MA 30 minute is at the time, currently 57.76 half and rising. Generally, the 200 MA 30 minute had been some support today. A lot of people were trying to push me saying, oh, Justin, is it time to get short? And I said, just wait a little bit. Let's see if we can break that 200 MA 30 minute and hold. And that never happened. We did have some penetrations below, but ultimately price rebounded very quickly. Same thing in the Qs. And we never even tested it today in the Qs, which also had me a little bit more optimistic. Pullbacks to 20,271 are okay. Below there, we could see 20,201.75, and wherever the 200 MA 30 minute is at the time, currently 20,106 half. As far as SPY goes, we are riding basically that wedge high. If we do the full Monty up to the wedge high, we could be at 575.64. I generally think pullbacks to 565.16 are okay. The 10 MA is roughly there at 565.87, so as long as that holds, it's fine. If we were to do a liquidation break and test the trend line, we would be 557.08 and rising. Qs are up in the after hours. I had said if we can clear 486.39, we'd likely fill the 716 gap to 496.34. We're currently at 489.87 in the after hours. I think that we could continue pushing up here now that we crossed the 78.6. Pullbacks now to the 78.6 must hold at 486.39, or there could be liquidation break potential down to the 61.8, currently at 472.93. SMH obviously up in the after hours with the Micron news. There should be some resistance between 251.52 and 255.66. After that, we could test up to somewhere between 264s to 265.40, which would be the start of the gap that we saw from 716. Careful if we can't get over the 61.8 in the after hours at 251.52. If that can't clear in the morning, there could be liquidation break potential, but I do think that that area is good. As far as Micron goes, looks to me like there is going to be some resistance up between 111 and 114.83. That, of course, being the 822 reference high and the 100 MA. If that can clear, we make a move to the 50% fib at 120.83. And then I see a big resistance zone between 127.37 and 130. So if you're doing some kind of a call spread, that 130 area is a good upper strike to sell. And if it were to go sideways or even lower, you could always roll it down to like 125 or something like that. NVIDIA obviously going to be up on this news tomorrow. 127.83 is the downtrend. That area has to clear. If it can, we can make a move up to the 130s, and then I think it's a good area to trim into the 130s and 131s. Tesla, I told you I thought would be strong and fill in the gap to 246.38, and now we are up over the 78.6 of the range at 251.95, so that is a clear stop. If that fails, we could make a pullback to as much as 237s, but I do think Tesla will remain strong into the robo-taxi event on October 10th, which will probably be a sell the news, so if it continues to be up, probably a good idea to book some profits into that. Gold still acting fairly strong. We do have a bit of a dubstep setup here, so I think you could use 244.79 as a stop. I've been looking for 248.36, so probably a good area to trim into those 248s to 250s if there's an overshoot. As far as the Bitcoin goes, chopping around here, it's fine as long as it holds 62,627 to 62,975. The downtrend resistance comes in just a little bit higher at 65,646 to 66,233, which is of course the 78.6 of the range and a good area to trim profits into. Generally speaking, we are coming into the end of the month and the end of the quarter. There could be some lock-in if we're up a lot, so a good opportunity to trim some gains. I think if they do the full Monty with the markup into the end of the month, there could be some pullback in early October, maybe after a little bit of allocation money. but I generally like booking profits now into strength, given the fact that we are up near the range highs. I don't necessarily know that there are shorts, but we do have some discipline rules. You can use the opening 5, 15, or 30-minute range as a gauge. Anything above it can still continue higher. Anything below it, I do think could see liquidation break for gap fills. I think Micron is going to fuel the SMH, and I think that's going to fuel the NASDAQ, and we'll have to see if that can get taken back, but it should, quote unquote, go higher. But if what should happen doesn't happen, don't ignore that either. But I wouldn't fight it right now. Market does seem to want to rally. That's it.